Those babies, there's nothing like losing a child.
A fire at an eastern Kentucky home has killed twin boys. What we've learned about the investigation.
A mystery at a Boyle County home tonight as investigators try to figure out what caused a man's death there.
How the family of a fallen Central Kentucky firefighter is keeping his legacy alive by helping others in the community.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. A horrible loss in a small eastern Kentucky community. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a fire that killed two young children at a Knott County home.
That fire started early this morning in a home on Highway 550 in the Lackey community. The victims are twin 4-year-old boys. WKYT Sabir Rayford talked to people who live nearby. It's our top story at 6.
It was a day they say they will never forget. Kimberly Horton and her family says when they saw how big the flames were, they knew the situation was going to turn tragic.
My son said I ran like, he's never seen me run like that before. I was barefooted and I ran down the hill. He beat me and I got here as soon as we got to the gate. I mean, the heat was just intense.
Hort says when she ran outside, she saw everyone that lived in the home except the two little boys. That's when her son stepped in.
I hopped the fence, you can see where it's bent. I hopped down there with the water hose.
But Lewis Racy says the back of the home was engulfed in flames. He says around 10 minutes later, firefighters were at the home, but it was too late.
When they got here, I just kept the back side of the house suppressed with the water hose, but it wasn't much help. I just kept the hen houses from catching fire and spreading.
Their property was okay, but their hearts were broken.
And it's been emotional, really. I mean, those babies, there's nothing like losing a child.
Hort says the two boys were 4-year-old twins. She says their prayers are with the family.
It's going to be hard on this community. I mean, I've known them for 2 months, and they're really nice people.
At this time, police are still investigating what caused the fire, but Hort says the family told her that it may have been an electrical short. In Knott County, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
Investigators have not released the names of the two boys. The American Red Cross is helping that family.
There are many questions tonight about what led up to a man's death in Danville. Police say a family member found the man's body this morning inside a home on East Broadway. Investigators spent hours at that scene. WKYT's Garrett Weimer joins us live from the scene with the very latest. Garrett?
The scene has quieted down here in Danville, but police are still here, and we're told the death investigation is still going on. Just in the last hour, investigators told us that that man's body is now on the way to the state medical examiner's office in Frankfort. Danville police were called out here this morning after they say a family member came to check on a relative and found him dead. They've identified that man as 72-year-old Dawson Sears. Danville police and KSP have been out here all afternoon investigating. Police at one point went door to door talking to neighbors, but investigators have not said whether any evidence points to foul play. They hope an autopsy helps them get answers.
That's the most valuable tool that the coroner's office and law enforcement has of determining the cause of manner of death. It's a wonderful tool and a very concise tool that should be able to give us just an awfully lot of answers that we would need.
I just spoke with a man who knew Dawson Sears. He describes him as a calm and gentle person. We'll have more coming up tonight on WKYT News at 11. Live in Danville, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you. The autopsy has been scheduled for tomorrow morning, but investigators say they don't know when to expect the results back.
A walk on a Clark County trail took a frightening turn for a woman. Police say a man wearing a clown mask attacked her. It happened around 8:30 last night on a trail near the intersection of Bypass Road and Colby Road in Winchester. Now police have stepped up patrols in the area. WKYT's Hillary Thornton talked to someone who walks on that trail often.
You will often find Barbara Spicer out along this trail.
Just about every day I do, walk my dog.
The walking trail set in a field off of the bypass in Winchester. It is a trail where police are investigating after a woman says she was attacked by a man wearing a clown mask.
I think now it's escalated. Before, from what I heard, it was just them showing themselves and scaring people, little kids, but now, from the report here, they've actually tried to grab somebody, and it's a concern.
Investigators say around 8:30 Thursday evening, a time after dark when the trail is technically closed, the clown mask covered man popped out of the tree line attempting to carry the victim off into the woods. They say she was able to fight the masked man off, then running away to safety.
This trail, a popular spot for walkers out here in Clark County. Many say they are now keeping a closer eye out on their surroundings.
It's got me a little bit concerned, but now and my husband stresses this also. I never come out here in the dark.
Any attack like this alarming, but they say the fact a clown mask was involved is even more disturbing.
Even if it's people just joking around, I think it's a concern because somebody's going to get hurt. Whether it be the clown or somebody, these clowns, one of them's going to get shot.
In Winchester, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Winchester police say this is the first clown sighting report they've received amid the growing national trend.
Lexington police have teamed up with the U.S. Attorney's Office for a new plan to try and fight the drug epidemic. As part of the partnership, Lexington police have added officers to the department's narcotics unit, and they're focusing more on investigating overdose cases. They'll also be working under a U.S. Attorney's Office initiative which focuses on prosecuting drug dealers and their suppliers who have been connected to the overdoses.
We're treating overdose scenes differently than we have, not only as a medical condition or an issue, but also as a criminal investigation. Not criminalizing the person, but the individual, the predator that is supplying the heroin.
Lexington police say there have been more than 100 overdose deaths in the city so far this year. Officers are also carrying Narcan, a drug used to reverse the effects of an overdose. New tonight, a reward is now being offered as investigators try to find the person who set a large trap that injured a cat. Jessamine County Animal Care and Control says the Humane Society of the United States has posted a $5,000 reward. Investigators say someone found the cat with its legs stuck in the trap around Williamsburg Drive in Nicholasville. A veterinarian removed the trap, but the cat lost some toes. Jessamine County Animal Care and Control is also asking for donations to help pay for the cat's care.
Well, some of us saw sunshine, some of us saw clouds today, but will that continue into our weekend? WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us now with an early check of your forecast.
Yeah, pretty much the short answer to that. As we roll our way into Saturday especially, it's more of the same. Now, interesting goings on out there this evening. Look at how we are much cooler from Louisville to Fort Knox to Danville, where we're getting in on now winds that are coming around from the northwest right on top of our low pressure. So that cool pocket of air is going to surge into the bluegrass region over the next little bit. And accompanying that cooler surge, we've got some clouds and a little bit of rain. You can kind of squint there, but you look in the distance, you can see some of the drops of rain falling from the clouds not too far away from the Lexington area. 61 degrees right now. Lexington humidity is up. Winds are beginning to calm down just a little bit, but everything going around this area of low pressure, stubborn area of low pressure. It has been talked about around here for a long time now, and we're starting to see some of those very light sprinkles and showers getting into parts of central Kentucky. And whatever is to the south of Louisville, between Louisville and Bowling Green, is going to work its way toward the east and then toward the northeast into parts of central Kentucky. That's what happens around an area of low pressure. Watch the future radar this evening. And once we get past the sunset time, we're going to see a lot of that stuff beginning to wind down, but especially into central Kentucky, chances there for a shower or a thunder shower over the next couple of hours. No matter where you are going this evening for a high school football game, you're going to need the jackets. Temperatures in the 50s. Guys, what about your Saturday and Sunday? It's October. Got the first hour-by-hour forecast for the first days of the new month in a few.
We'll see you then, Chris. Thank you. He spent much of his life helping others, and the family of a fallen Central Kentucky firefighter wants to make sure his legacy continues for years to come.
30-year-old Chase Clevenger died last December, hours after working a fire in Estill County. He was a firefighter at 2 fire departments. And as WKYT's Victor Puente tells us, new at 6, there are now scholarships set up in Clevenger's honor.
Chase Clevenger's wife says he did his best to help others. Since his death, they've carried on that legacy with a scholarship for firefighters. But so far, they haven't had any applicants for the coming semester. Captain Zachary Chase Clevenger was a firefighter for the Montgomery and Estill County Fire Departments. Last December, the 30-year-old went home to get some rest after fighting a fire in Estill County and never woke up.
I always knew he was wonderful, of course, you know, but to know the impact that he had on so many other people, it made me want to do even more to continue that.
Clevenger was a graduate of Eastern Kentucky University's Fire Sciences program, so his wife wanted to help those taking the same path he did.
My husband really focused on education and training. It was really, really important to him.
She helped set up 4 scholarships in his name, 2 to send firefighters to training and 2 for those just graduating from EKU. The $500 is meant to help with the cost of licensing and applying for jobs. So far, no one has applied for that money.
There's 42 students graduating in December with a fire science degree from Eastern, so we thought we would have an abundance of applications. You know, we were all prepared to do our interviews, and we didn't get any applicants.
With the deadline set for tonight, she's hoping to spread the word about the Zachary Chase Clevenger Memorial page on Facebook, which has the information on how to apply, so her husband can continue to help those following in his footsteps. If you'd like to donate to that scholarship, they've set up an account at Park Community Credit Union in Richmond. There's also information on their Facebook page, which we'll link to on WKYT.com. In Estill County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
On October 9th, Clevenger's name will be added to the National Fallen Firefighter Memorial in Maryland. His friends and coworkers tell us they plan on being there.
The wait for Big Blue Madness tickets included some wedding bells this afternoon. We'll explain next here on WKYT News at 6.
It's a tradition. Hundreds of fans have been lined up outside Memorial Coliseum for days waiting for Big Blue Madness tickets. And tonight, tickets will finally be handed out.
But the wait has a romantic twist as a couple decided to get married this afternoon right in line. Monique Blair joins us now live with their story. Hi, Monique.
Hi, Sam and Amber. Yeah, there was quite the excitement about an hour ago out here at Tent City as a couple did get married. I'm actually holding their marriage license here that showed they got married at Big Blue Madness. Now, there were about 100 guests out here watching the whole event, as you can imagine, most of them wearing the colors blue and white. Now, this was a very real wedding. They had the rings, the vows, a flower girl, and everything, of course, was UK themed, even down to the bride's outfit, a white long-sleeved UK shirt. The happy newly wedded couple, Ray Branham and Vicky Harvey, who is now Vicky Branham, told me they've been dating for about a year and they have talked about getting married for quite a while, but they didn't decide to get married here until Wednesday.
It was kind of a joint thing. I mean, we kind of just wisecracked it. You know, this would be a great place to get married. You know, since we got the #1 spot, why not, you know, make it something very memorable for us. This was my first time. He'd done it before, but this was my first time. So we definitely made it memorable.
Now, the couple here tells me they had no idea their wedding here at Tent City would get the kind of response that it did, but they say they're not surprised because the Big Blue Nation is such a tight-knit group of people. Reporting live here in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Well, congratulations to them. Tickets for Big Blue Madness will be handed out tonight at 10.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Shower, thunder shower action into parts of the area, sunshine and some clouds in other parts of the region. Everybody, though, with temperatures that are a little cooler than what we should be seeing for the final day of September. Can you believe that? Look outside. Upper 50s now showing up into parts of central Kentucky. Danville to Fort Knox, where we've got some rain. 61 Lexington. 60 to 65 for the majority of eastern Kentucky, where you had more sun than everybody else. Look at that blue sky over top of Jackson, Moorhead. Some clouds are creeping in. Clouds and maybe a little shower into parts of Lexington right now. A little farther to the west, we've had some rain. Louisville, E-Town to Bowling Green, on and off for the past couple of hours. Low pressure. Say hello to it. Well, we said hello to it, what, Monday of this week? It was across Michigan then. It's dropping into the Bluegrass State. Now it's going to start to slowly pull back into the Great Lakes. But around that low, here's your bit of clearing into eastern Kentucky. And here we go with everything going around counterclockwise on that low pressure center. And see how these showers and thunderstorms try to pop up here south of E-Town? That stuff's going to kind of follow the path or the circulation So we're going to see some additional stuff trying to flare up into parts of central Kentucky. So if you're heading out to a high school football game, ponchos and the jackets. Jackets you're going to really put to use no matter where you are. Ponchos just for some of the games, especially in the parts of central Kentucky. Fog, maybe a player later on tonight as well. Visibility first thing tomorrow morning will drop close to 0 in a few spots, and that fog by noon tomorrow is slow to burn away, leaving us though with a mix of sun and afternoon clouds, a gusty wind. Temperature today back into the mid-60s. Same forecast tomorrow, mid and upper 60s with a shower or thunderstorm that can pop at any time tomorrow. So here's where that low will be tonight at 11 o'clock. It is slowly lifting back to where it started. It started up into Michigan, decided to close off, a jet stream bypassing it to the north, so it just left it hanging around Kentucky. Watch it 11 o'clock on Saturday evening into Sunday morning. Now it's back over Michigan, where it started the journey 4 or 5 days ago, and that will slowly get on out of town with high pressure regaining control of the pattern from later Sunday into the early part of next week, and that'll bring some better weather into central and eastern Kentucky. Anyone, and especially in central Kentucky, fair game for a shower or thunderstorm out there this evening. Even with the cool conditions, you can get a little rumble of thunder, so we'll keep an eye on that. Fog in the morning will give way to some afternoon sun and clouds with a threat for a shower or thunderstorm that will be noted as well. That may carry us into tomorrow evening. Forecast as we go into the day on Sunday. Patchy fog in the morning. Sunday, the change I've made compared to what we've had the past few days, I've left a small chance for a shower in there on Sunday. There's some leftover moisture, and then the fog machine may be really, really thick to begin the first Monday of October. That would be temperatures in the low 50s. 73 into the afternoon. May hit 77 on Wednesday, then down we go with a cold front. That will usher in some showers and thunderstorms by the end of the week, and likely another shot of some much cooler air by next Friday.
Didn't rain on the wedding, though, so.
It did not. They had sunshine.
The big blue wedding.
Although it's raining out there now, they got lucky.
Okay. They have plenty of tents to go in, I hope. Just ahead, the Ryder Cup matches are underway, Rob.
It was a good morning for the USA. The afternoon has been a different story. We'll tell you what's happened. And quarterback Steven Johnson has played well, but he figures to need a lot of help tomorrow down at Alabama. Sports is next. Stay with us on WKYT. In Tuscaloosa tomorrow night, Kentucky will be in a hostile environment against the #1 ranked team in the nation, and it will be up to Steven Johnson to direct the offense. Since replacing Drew Barker in the New Mexico State game, Johnson has done a really good job, but he will need everybody's help down at Alabama.
I say the same thing, you know, with Drew. All over with Drew, we were ready with Drew, but now that Steven's up, you know, we're just ready to have his back, you know, him being a new quarterback in there. Try to take some of the pressure off him by going in there, trying to make it relaxed, to try to relax it a little, and just play up to his ball.
We really can't make any mistakes going into Alabama playing them, because they're going to be on their A game as well. I mean, they've got, like I said, phenomenal players, and we'll just have to go out there and play 100% with no mistakes, no turnovers, and be able to move the ball efficiently.
Bryant-Denny Stadium tomorrow night, 7 o'clock kick. It'll be on ESPN. As we told you a little bit earlier, John Calipari today announcing that longtime assistant coach John Robick is moving to a new role as special assistant to the head coach. That position was held by Joel Justice. He now becomes an assistant coach. Calipari said Robick will still be his right-hand man, but per NCAA rules will not be allowed to coach players on the court. Justice is beginning his 3rd season with the Wildcats. The Ryder Cup matches opening at Hazeltine, and the United States on fire in the morning foursomes, winning all 4 matches. Now, the afternoon has been a different story. Brooks Koepka and Brandt Snedeker have won in 4 balls, but the Europeans have put a point on the board now, and the Europeans are leading in the 2 matches that are in progress. J.B. Holmes and Ryan Moore are trailing by 2 with 3 to play. It looks like the U.S. will lead 5-3 at the end of the day, unless something changes in the next 30 minutes. 15 teams from Central Kentucky have a bye week tonight, but not Bryan Station and Lafayette. This game has a lot of intangibles. The Lafayette defense has been playing well since giving up 45 to Trinity. Bryan Station's offense has not been bad considering how young the defenders are this season. Something has to give later tonight.
Being aggressive, being prepared, knowing what to do. Recognizing formations, I've demanded in the last couple of weeks that they study a lot more, and it's paying off.
I think the offense, we need to stay on the field for as long as we can. We just have to continue to drive the ball up the field, execute, play as a team unit, and score touchdowns.
And a quick look at our Game Time Top 10. Scott County still number 1. Lafayette is 2. They host Bryan Station. LCA is 3. Tates Creek 4. Danville 5. Southwestern 6. Madison Central is 7. Number 8. Pulaski County is at Henry Clay tonight. Western Hills and Madison Southern are in at number 9. We'll have all your high school highlights tonight on WKYT High School Game Time. The Cincinnati Reds say Brian Price will return as manager next season. Price and the Reds agreeing to a 1-year contract with a team option, and the entire coaching staff also has been offered deals for 2017. The Reds are 67-92, last place in the National League Central, but 35-35 since the All-Star break. And congratulations are in order for Lee K. Howard and his wife, Kristen. They had their first child this morning, Margaret Bly Howard, 6 pounds, 12 ounces. Welcome to the world, Margaret Bly Howard. Great picture. We'll be right back.
Coming up at 6:30 in the CW Lexington, we'll talk to a representative of AAA about these rising gas prices and how long they'll stick around.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you at 11.